Alright, in this build video I'm going to show you a few things, what I've been running lately, and a few really important changes that sorcerers really need to know about. I'm just going to kind of go through this really quickly. For both PvE and PvP, I find Bloodspawn to be invaluable. It generates a ton of ultimate, and it gives you a lot of resistance as well. So there's few situations I recommend anything else. Using this is very important. Now my build is a 5 light, 1 medium, 1 heavy. Try to make your heavy piece the largest piece if you can, either preferably the chest. Now everything here is impenetrable, and everything is glyphed with tri-stat glyphs, giving you the best all-around stats. So the next that I've used is the Scalebreaker set, and basically it's for magicka and stamina recovery. This also helping stamina recovery as well. Stamina recovery is actually pretty respectable, and I'm a high elf, which getting into the passives, spell recharge. When I use a class ability, I restore magic or stamina based on whichever is lowest. So my stamina restores quite a bit. It's actually a pretty good passive to have, and it works out really well. So I've got 2 protective, 1 arcane. Everything is spell damage. Now I could have went all protective, but I didn't really feel the need to do that. Of course, I've got infused with shock damage and increased weapon and spell damage. Basically, this is for tapping the enemy, and it will increase my spell damage for about 5 seconds, which is kind of nice to have. But it doesn't. This patch, it doesn't seem to work out that long, so I don't know what to tell you there. Skill-wise, dark magic. You'll notice on this build I don't use crystal frag anymore. Not that it's a bad skill or anything, but I found something a little bit better. You got to remember, this takes up a slot, and you have to wait for it to proc as well. So I've tried running it this way, and I've had better results, better DPS and that sort of thing. I've got Force Pulse. This is my spammable. This is my CC. Structured Entropy. This will heal you for quite a bit, and the heals can crit as well. I'm gonna go ahead. As you can see, we're at 25, and this is going to hit twice in 12 seconds, so this is going to be roughly just about 27k on top of 25k, so you're looking at about 52k damage in the background. Of course, I've got Hard and Ward, and I've got the Greater Storm Atronak. This will arrive. It'll hit for nearly 10k on arrival, and then it will zap the enemy for 4400 per second after that for 28 seconds. This is probably one of the best ultimates. Now, I've seen people use Eye of the Storm, and really it's not all that great. I mean, it lasts for 7 seconds. It costs 213 ultimate. I mean, it can be good if you have a lot of mobs around you and that sort of thing. But overall, to me, it's lacking. And if you come down here, Pulsar will actually give you more damage as well. So that's just something to keep in mind. So that's the front bar. The back bar is rapid regeneration, buffed up. I've got 19,500, which is really respectable over 5 seconds. It's a really good heal. Of course, I've got Streak. Normally I would have Boundless Storm here, which is what I use typically all the time. Dark Conversion, probably one of the best skills that a sorcerer can have. It heals you and it gives you magicka back. And I use this all the time because my build doesn't have a whole lot of magicka recovery. So I keep this handy and it works out really well. Here is probably one of the main reasons I made this video. I used to run Power Surge and that got nerfed to a point where it would only go off once every 3 seconds. So I went to Critical Surge, and this will actually heal you for more health. And these hits are these heals can crit heal as well. So about half the time these are crit healing, and it works really well. So this is the morph to have. If you have Power Surge, dump it, get Crit Surge, and you'll be good to go. Of course, I have my Lights Champion. That's my kind of my own shit button. You know, if I get into trouble, I hit that, and I'm good to go. Now this is just about always available to me. Reason being is I have the Bloodspawn set, which will give me a ton of ultimate, which kind of feeds that and allows me to get out of trouble. Now another really honorable mention is the Soul Splitting Trap. You know, on me, it's giving me about 16,000 damage over 10 seconds. But this morph basically hits everybody in front of you. So you can have like 10-20 enemies in front of you or whatever. This does a really nice damage over time. And in a PvE situation, this is well worth using. Now, I'm a magicka character. This will scale to your highest stats. If I was a stamina character, of course, it would give me a lot more in terms of physical damage. So that's just worth keeping. Of course, you know, Structured Entropy, that's quite a heal. So basically you have a couple sources of healing. Typically before a fight with a boss or something like that, you want to have that up. Crit Surge, along with Structured Entropy, those are the ones you typically use. Now, if you find yourself getting low on magic or health, you can hit Rapid Regeneration and Dark Conversion. You use these two together, and you can pretty much out-heal just about anything. I was in the sewers fighting a boss, and a Nightblade, of course, tried to gank me. And I'd get him down to like 10-20%, and he'd go away and heal and come back. Well, I finished the boss, and my potion, I was using this, and so I'd get him down to 20% or so, and he'd run off and I couldn't see him. But the last time I popped one of these and he wasn't able to get away. But kind of the point being is I use this in conjunction with this, along with keeping my shield up. And basically he couldn't get me down in health. So that's how I got him. Basically, he couldn't do anything. He couldn't wear me down. So I guess that's about it. Critical Surge. If you don't have this morph, get it. It's the best morph to have. Oh, curse. For those who don't know, I've got the Mage Munda Stone that keeps my magic up. And I also use this food, the Clockwork Citrus Fillet. This is a really good all-around food to use. I'm a little bit tankier due to the Bloodspawn set. My Bloodspawn procs quite often, and not only that, I've got the protective trait rings. I can go to a third, and I would have even more, but I think I'm pretty good where I'm at. I haven't had too many problems. So anyway, that's what I've been using. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to switch staffs. I'm going to go to the lightning staff. Now notice on this lightning staff, notice the glyph I have here. It does magic damage and it heals me at the same time. Now this can crit heal as well, so keeping in mind I'm at 52% crit. So basically and now I'm all the way back up to full health. So as you can see, the glyph in conjuncture with the critical surge, I healed really quick, and at first I didn't, because my healing is dropped for 4 seconds after I use this, but I'll go ahead and show you guys again. And all of a sudden I'm at full health. So if you're in a PvE or a PvP area, just keep this in mind. I use a lightning staff typically for PvE because it'll affect the surrounding characters, but this will heal you in a hurry. Now I'm gonna go ahead and put this back up. This is rapid regeneration buffed up. As you can see, that hardly took any time at all getting back into it. And back to full health. Now, what I'm going to do is use this in conjunction with this, and we'll see how quickly I get back up. And in no time, I'm fully back up to full health. So this is just something to keep in mind, and I thought I'd go ahead and show you guys this. And you can kind of see the value of critical heals as it stands. I'm sitting at 52%, which means 52% of the time the critical heals will happen. And when those heals do happen, they're going to be 23% stronger. I guess I can go through my champion points and show you guys. This seems to work the best for me. I've got Elemental Expert, 64, 72 into Elfborn. I've got some into Spell Erosion. And I've got some into Master at Arms. I've got some into Ironclad, some into Spell Shield, some into Critical Resistance, Light Armor Focus. This is to actually help with my physical resistance. I kind of balance this out just so that I would have an equal physical and spell resistance. 43 into Hardy, 43 into Elemental Defender. I've got some into Bastion for my shields. It gives me a little bit more shields, although the shields did get nerfed pretty good. For in a Siphoner, this just kind of puts a dot on them that they have to purge to get it off. A lot of people see that dot and they can't resist the urge to purge, I guess. I've got quite a bit into Break Free Warlord. I might not actually need that much, but I have it there. Reduce the cost of Sprint by 4%. Got some into Mooncalf, some into Magic of Recovery, and some into Roll Dodge. And that's about it. So anyway, just going through the skills once again. The important stuff, I would have Dark Conversion on your build, on your bar somewhere on your back bar. It's a really important skill to have. As far as Storm Calling, use Critical Surge. It's really important for healing. For the weapon, of course, I've got Force Pulse. That's my spammable. I hit him with Structured Entropy first, Haunting Curse, and then the spammable will work with this and this. I've also got the Storm Atronak, which I consider better than this skill here. This is a cheaper ultimate than this, and not only that, it does more damage. So that's just something to consider. Restoration staff, of course, I got Rapid Regeneration. Healing Ward is also a good. It's a good heal and it's a good shield if you get really low. But what happens is generally you don't get low if you're using Critical Surge. So I've kept this up. It's a really good heal over time. And on this build, I'm always running critical hits, and the heals from this will also give critical heals as well. So the heals off this are pretty ridiculous. Now, if you're in a PvE situation, something to consider is the soul splitting trap. This can hit like all the mobs in front of you, like 10, 20 of them or whatever, and this gives you really good damage over time. Fully buffed up. On me, it's 16,000. Of course, this is good for a physical, for a stamina build as well, because it'll scale to your stamina build. So that's about it. I'm a high elf, and anyway, I thought I would go ahead and show you these. This is probably the most important thing in the video, though. This is probably what motivated me more than anything to make this video. I didn't realize that this had gotten changed, and it did, so there you have it. Power overload seems to be, that seems to do a lot of damage as well. I've actually fought people that were using this, and while it's not a huge damage ability, it happens really frequently, one right after another after another, and that'll seem to really wear you down. You'll notice I don't have the execute on my bar. No, the execute is nice. It's a good skill, but truthfully, this will actually give me more damage than that will total. So that's why I've kept it there. But anyway, I think I've covered everything, and there's a couple other sets. Bright Throat's Boast, which is a pretty good recovery set. And it'll raise up your magicka as well. I don't know about using it though. I think this one gives you a little bit more damage, which is the reason I've kept it. But anyway, yeah, I guess that's about where we're at. So anyway, I hope this has given you some ideas and shown you just what's available to sorcerer and what you can use, and then maybe this will help your game somewhat. So I guess I'll sign off and see you guys out there. Take care.